Hello everyone and welcome back to another Monster Hunter Wilds build video. Today we're going to be touching on the Zoshia Sword and Shield and a solid build for the best DPS I could possibly put out on this weapon. Now this is an alternative for Artian. At the end of the day, Artian is going to completely outdo this for the most part. It's still very strong and doesn't, like I said, doesn't quite live up to Artian, but it's almost there. And if you want an alternative that honestly just looks really damn cool, I would personally go for this. Anyway, let's take a look at the build. Before we get into the build, as I mentioned in my other video, if you want to join the Discord down in the link in the description, you guys can join the giveaway by showing me that you are subscribed to the channel. That is for 2 copies of the Monster Hunter Wilds Legendary Super Deluxe whatever edition. The codes will be given out at the end of the week, so yeah, let me know if you hop in and join the giveaway. Anyway, let's get into the video. So, we are running the Zoshia Sword and Shield, obviously with a critical jewel 3 and 2 guardian jewels here to max out our offensive guard. That gives us 3 crit boost and 3 offensive guard with our White Flame Torrent skill. White Flame Torrent, if you guys don't know, basically it's pretty beefy. It basically has a chance to do additional damage after landing an attack. Now we could attempt to run this with Scorcher, which could be pretty cool, but I'm not for this build. Maybe you would in a future build, but for this one specifically, I'm not going to be doing that. Then we are running the Shiwu Helm. That is specifically for the 2 Adrenaline Rush, as well as the Mighty Jewel in the slot there, with a Shockproof Jewel as well. We're running the Arc Vulcan Male Beta for 1 Weakness Exploit and a Burst Jewel, and another Maximum Might Jewel. We are running the Guardian Arc Veiled Vambraces Beta. That is for 2 Weakness Exploit as well as our 3 Protection Jewels. You guys can slot in there whatever you like. I like my Protection Jewels in there for that extra damage resistance on Divine Blessing. Then we have the 2 Gore pieces at the bottom to get our Black Eclipse procced, as well as maxing out our Antivirus, getting our counter attack up as high as possible for that Adrenaline Rush, and also another Max Might Jewel for our Maximum Might to be level 3. Then we have an Exploiter Charm that puts us up to Weakness Exploit 5, so the build ends up being 3 Critical Boost, 3 Offensive Guard, 1 White Flame Torrent, 5 Weakness Exploit, 4 Adrenaline Rush, 3 Max Might, 3 Divine Blessing, 3 Antivirus, and 2 Constitution. The Constitution just comes with the set. Unfortunately, we can't really get rid of that. We don't need it, but it's there with a Burst, a Flinch Free, and a Shock Absorber. We also have the Corrupted Mantle on top of that. It's just a little bit of extra damage, to be honest, and it's nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and test this out. So if we head over here and we just activate all of our skills here, and what we're also going to do is set this to Smash Mode on Weak Knockback. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because we just don't want to take any more damage than basically we've signed up for. So let's just go ahead and slash around until we cure our Antivirus. And it should be cured any second now. There it is. Right, so now what we need to do is Adrenaline Rush and Perfect Guard. There we go. So now, if we go ahead and draw Perfect Rush, you're going to see some very, very high numbers, as well as those extra 50s just popping off occasionally, and that is a lot of damage. So, let's go ahead and take this into a hunt. Okay, so while we are on our way to the monster, what is your favorite monster at Monster Hunter Wilds? I asked this in most of my build videos, and I also want to ask what kind of weapon you guys are running. Now, mine is the monster we're running there, and the weapon I'm using. For some reason I'm actually noticed, there we go, switch back up to my Zoshia weapon, because that's what the build is for. And we're going to go ahead and wipe this out. Now, this build will work perfectly with an Artian weapon as well. So it is an all-rounder sword and shield build. If you want to run an Artian weapon, I suggest running everything attack apart from 1 sharpness. And usually I would go for Dragon Element, but really you can go for any element that is the opposite of the monster you're fighting. Whatever it is weak to, sure, go for that. But Dragon is a safe one. Paralysis also works pretty nicely. So, let's give this guy a little poke. And let's try and pull this bit down on him. Yep, there we go. And that's going to land on him. There we go. There we go. There we go. Adrenaline Rush active. Defensive guard active. And let's get that damage in. Perfect guard. There it is. Oh, we didn't quite get the guard on that. More perfect guards. And we can just keep slashing away, man. Perfect dodge there. It wasn't actually that perfect, but we got out of the way, and that's what matters. Ow. There's a wound broken. Can we get the other one? Not quite. Perfect guard. It's just a normal guard there. Lovely perfect guard on that wound. And we got the mount. Beautiful. Like, sword and shield, honestly, in this game is such an upgrade on, like, previous iterations. Like, don't get me wrong, I love World Sword and Shield, but it just doesn't compare for me compared to this. This is just the best version of the weapon we have ever had by a long way, and yeah, it's so beautiful. Alright, let's get these tail crystals gone. Maybe even get a tail cut if we can. There goes the tail crystals. Let's try and get that wing wound. Never mind. Alright, come here. Perfect guard. Dodge that. Nope. Ah, I thought I was out of range. That was my bad. Okay. Let's pop a max potion. And let's also pop on our corrupted mantle. Drop this on their head. Let's go. And we're going to try and break up this wing a bit. There it is. Right, let's get that face wound. Nope. Look how many wounds this guy has, man. Let's get on that wing one. Offensive guard. Wound. There it is, baby. Beautiful. Rey Dau is getting absolutely abused, and so are we actually a little bit. Now, the only thing about this weapon is the sharpness does run down quite fast, so instead of offensive guard, if you want to keep your sharpness levels up, you could totally run some handicraft instead. That could also be quite beneficial to you. So it just depends on what you feel the most comfortable with. There he goes. Beautiful. And you're seeing those 50 damage procs constantly coming up, which is absolutely awesome. It's exactly what we want. There goes the wing break. Onto the tail. There's the tail damaged. And we're going to go ahead and sharpen now. We're losing out on a lot of damage by being down in that sharpness. Beautiful. Let's grab this pod here when we go and finish it off. And I'll be back with you guys when we actually reach the monster. Alright, here he comes. God, he looks so cool in that, like, lightning and storm and stuff. What an awesome monster. Combat in Wilds is just flawless, dude. It's so good. Alright, let's do this. The only thing I have a gripe with is difficulty, but that seems to be getting fixed slowly. I mean, Mizu and Zoshia were nice challenges, and it looks like we're getting good challenges off the other monsters as well. Come on, do an attack. Do your big slam. There we go, and we got the adrenaline rush on it. And where's that wound? It's on the tip of your wing. I'm not gonna get that. Defensive guard. Double block. Into the wound. Knock down. Oh, he's dead. Didn't even need to knock him down. And there we go, there is the build. So if you guys like the build and you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to test it out. See you guys later. In a bit.